And of course, we definitely give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie first. We definitely say blessed love to each and everyone. Give thanks for your presence with us. You know, this is the time that you step into the nest, the tiger's nest. And of course, as I just said, King Alpha and Queen Omega is to be praised. Of course, the Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. You're definitely in tune to the international flavor, the universal spice. If you're asking what is that, we're talking about Radio Anu. Of course, that can be found on priestisaacinstitute.com. Radio Anu is the media arm of the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Again, it's a joy that you could definitely come and sit in and sup with us. We have a wonderful program for you this evening, as we always do. We're going to be sitting down and taking some, information from Mama Bello and some different ones directly speaking of the ancient voodoo tradition of Haiti and from Benin and the homie. Remember, we are preparing ourselves, for the international lectures, speaking of the 28th day of November, 7 p.m. sharp, international gathering, international lecture. We're talking about Africa's warriors on the front line. And Sister Mama Bello is a modern day African warrior on the front line, And of course, one of the main things we're going to be touching about is is the female warriors from Benin, from the homie, the kingdom of the snakes. Yeah, that's what people call the Amazon warriors. But we're going to expose the fullness of who they really are on Sunday. I hope you already got your electronic tickets. I hope you're not saying, what is he talking about? Let me slow down. On Sunday, the 28th day of November, we're going to be having a wonderful online lecture. We do our online lecture series. Good. So we're going to be adding to this online lecture series. This is our more recent edition of this installment, I should say, and that is Sunday, the 28th day of November, 2021. Check your calendar. If it's not that date as yet, you still have a chance to be a part of this wonderful sit down. And the lecture is entitled Africa's the warriors is on the front line. And we will be highlighting not just the African empresses, queens, and goddesses, and all of that, but we're going to be specifically talking about those who pick up the sword, those who grab the bow, those who pick up the musket, the guns, whatever it is that they have to pick up to defend their people. I'm talking about Queen Nyabingi. I'm talking about Empress Taitu. We're talking about Ya Asantewa. We're talking about, we can go on and on, the Queen Mandeke, the Queen Candace, and all the warriors that are on the battlefield, the Queen Amina's on the battlefield for their nation, the Queen Nzingas. This is going to be a wonderful sit down. And even if you're saying to yourself, oh, I know about all of this already. Okay, good. But what about your children? All of that which you know already. Have you taught it to the young ones? Well, if you haven't done it as yet, I'm sure you would do it sometime. But bring them. Let them sit in with us on Sunday, the 28th. Put them in front of the computer or whatever the device is, and let us go into our African empresses, our mothers, and highlight their beauty and their joy and all of their accomplishments. Empress Menen on the front line. Oh, we're going to have a very special presentation on Empress Menen. But here, this is going to, listen, I don't even want to say too much about this one. Because some may be saying Empress Menen. Yeah, we know she led the woman on the battlefield too, but Empress Menen has some mystic qualities that needs to stand out. Of course, we're just coming off of the coronation, the 91st anniversary of the coronation of Emperor Haile Selassie I and Empress Menen. So this is something that individuals highlight all of the time. The fact that Empress Menen was crowned with the king at the same time, in the same way, in the same arena. Again, that is officially the 2nd of November, 1930. We all know of that. But interestingly, the couple, I'm talking about Haile Selassie and Empress Menen, interestingly, they did not become the monarchs on the 2nd of November, 1930. Listen to me good. This is the day that they were literally crowned, on the 2nd of November, 1930. But the 2nd of November 1930 is again the coronation day. They actually became the monarchs exactly 7 months before that. Let me count: April, May, June, July, August, September, October, yeah, November. Good. I was counting on my fingers. Don't laugh. But yeah, so this is mystic, eh? This is why, you know, you have to check the number 7 to it. The power of the number 7 of completion. Because when Marcus Garvey said in March, you know, 1928, the 27th of March, in Elwes Park in Jamaica, that you must look to Africa, where a prince shall be crowned king and he shall be your liberator. I mean, it was 7 months after that where Rastafari was crowned Nigastafari, meaning that he was crowned king. That wasn't the coronation of him as emperor. I'm talking about the 7th of October, 1928, 7 months after March, when Marcus Mosiah Garvey uttered his words. 7 months after his words were uttered, Haile Selassie was crowned king. At that time, he wasn't crowned emperor yet. This is 1928. He was Til Tafari. So the title he received was Negus. And he's the final Negus or king to ever be crowned in Ethiopia, to fulfill the words of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So I'm just highlighting this, the science of the number 7. So interestingly, the 2nd of November, which is the coronation day of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords and his Empress, again, that is the coronation day. That is, let's just say that was the official ceremony. You follow me good? But the emperor was the emperor before that. In fact, this is why I like to highlight the 7 months of Emperor Tafari. There's an emperor in Ethiopia named Emperor Tafari. It's the same Haile Selassie. Remember, it was at his coronation on the 2nd of November that he took up the title Haile Selassie. Yes, the records show that that was his baptismal name, but we all know it was Tafari that he used all throughout. Even when he became emperor in April, he was still Tafari or Tafari to get the language, you know, correctly, or the grammar. But hear this now. So he was 7 months as Emperor Tafari. 7 months. He was Emperor Haile Selassie. He took the name Haile Selassie at the coronation on the 2nd of November. But he was emperor already for 7 months. Exactly 7 months too. Okay. So how did he come emperor on the 2nd of April? Well, you see, that is the day. Follow me, family. That is the day when Empress Zaditu passed on, or when Empress Zaditu died. And remember, Empress Zaditu, she is the daughter of Menelik II. And Menelik II, of course, the king of Ethiopia, when he moved, his daughter became the Empress of Ethiopia. But then now, when she died, and she died on the 2nd of April, it was at that time that Haile Selassie I became the king. Again, at the time, he wasn't referred to as Haile Selassie, he was Tafari. So he was Emperor Tafari, not necessarily Emperor Haile Selassie I. And his wife, Empress Menen, follow me? His wife, Empress Menen, became Empress, obviously, on the same day as him. Now, this is very interesting because as Rastafari, most of us celebrate the Empress birthday on the 25th day of March. But any one of us who are students and scholars, you would know that Empress Menen is one of those individuals in history that you would find more than one birthday assigned to her. So when you do your studies, Wikipedia will tell you the 25th day of March, not May. If I said May, pardon. Wikipedia will tell you the 25th day of March. But other reports would tell you that she was born in 1889 on the 3rd day of April. Interesting. That's the same year Menelik II was crowned, on the 3rd day of November, 7 months after she was born, if her birthday was the 3rd day of April. Okay, but that's the record. So some people celebrate it on the 3rd day of April. I'm speaking of Empress Menen's Earth Day. So I'm just looking at this very interesting situation. Because, again, we were talking about the Emperor's coronation, the 2nd of November, 1930, and how it mystically just goes into the anniversary of Menelik II's coronation, which is the 3rd of November, 1889. Follow that good, eh? So Haile Selassie's coronation day was the day before Menelik II's 41st anniversary of his coronation, the 2nd of November, the 3rd of November. But they've fused into each other because the night of the 2nd is really the night of the 3rd, because, when the sunset is the night of the next day, although we call it the night of the day that just passed. I hope you're following me. Sometimes I know I speak fast, but we're working with the clock too. So sometimes we have to think fast and listen fast too. No, to be honest, some of us, we're drowsy in our listening to it. We listen drowsy and listen slow, no offense. So we just got to be sharp with this and don't take it as a joke. Take it as serious vibes and serious information. So I find it mystic that Empress Menen became the Empress on the 2nd of April, 1930, and interestingly, she was born, if this is true, on the 3rd of April, which is 1889, the year of Menelik II's coronation. So she was born exactly 7 years. Listen to me, listen. She was born exactly 7 months, pardon. She was born exactly 7 months. It would be good if you have a pen and a pad for this. She was born exactly 7 months before the coronation of Menelik II. Empress Menen, if she was born the 3rd of April, she was born exactly 7 months. Just like Marcus Garvey uttered the word 7 months before the king was crowned king. Just like the emperor himself and the same Empress, Menen, became emperor and empress the 2nd of April, exactly 7 months before they were coronated. In that same way, Empress Menen was born exactly 7 months before Menelik II was coronated. I tell you. And yet still, there is a direct link between the coronation of Haile Selassie, Empress Menen, and the same Menelik II. And how interesting it is that Queen Zaditu, Empress Zaditu, the woman ruler of Ethiopia, very mystic, that she passed. And the next day, when the king and Empress Menen became the monarchs, that's Empress Menen Earth Day. So it's almost as if she became Empress on her Earth Day. Empress Menen I'm talking about. And if you just put that in the midst of all what I just showed you, and when she was born 7 months before the granddaddy Menelik crown, and yet still, at the same time, she became Empress 7 months before she was crowned, the day before the 41st anniversary of the same Menelik II. And we can go deeper and deeper because that's what it's all about. But hey, as I said, we're also highlighting again Africa's warriors on the front line. And trust me, there's so much more that we will be putting down on Sunday. Remember, you could definitely get your early bird tickets for that lecture. The tickets are only $15. Remember, it's an online lecture. You don't have to catch a plane and come to us. It's an online lecture. You buy the ticket or you buy your spot and you get your link. Let's put it that way. But if you make your purchase before the 19th of November, I think that's Friday, the 19th of November, you get the ticket for $10. And trust me, it's going to be a deep rendition. Remember, the lecture is between myself and the Honorable Princess Acacia Menen. She specifically, our chief, one of our chief, I should say, including myself and the Honorable Prince, as we go into what is known as the research of our information. I mean, she's key in our research team. And I mean, I can tell you for sure, a lot of what is coming out on Sunday will be her specific research and obviously her presentation. So we're looking forward to seeing you there. You know what to do. Just email us. You don't know how it go. priestIsaacInstitute@gmail.com and give thanks. As I said, this is the Tiger's Nest. I know so much knowledge has been passed so far, but we've just begun. This is not even the topic for the evening. We're going to be, as I said, going into some science of voodoo in a few minutes there. Don't get scared. Everything is all right. Hey, if you are not a member of the subscription team for the Tiger's Nest, you know what to do. Just email us, priestIsaacInstitute@gmail.com, or visit us on the website, priestIsaacInstitute.com itself. Get some more information on how you can become a subscriber. It's only $20 a month, family, or it gets less and less and less. If you extend that to 6 months or a year, you even end up paying like 32, 33 cents for every Tiger's Nest program that you get. How do you get it? It comes straight to you in your inbox via the email every day after this program is done and it's recorded. It's yours to save in your archives. So if you miss it, or even if you didn't miss it, you shouldn't even miss it, but you need it in your library, or, well, we ain't burying no lie here. Not even the truth we bury it. This is just the truth exposed and told. Give thanks, put it in your archives, and it will definitely be yours. So once again, this is the Tiger's Nest. Give thanks for your presence. The Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. We have a wonderful program in store for you, and I am asking you with humility, please go nowhere as we continue to flow. Yeah, give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Tiger's Nest. Yeah.
Goddess representation, Empress, Menen, the Queen of Queens. Queen of Zion, liberation, the Empress International.